the video for Dragonborn DLC. This is the last DLC for Skyrim. How you will most likely encounter this DLC, one of two ways. Either you come to this guy, which is Goldborn Salt Sage, I think that's how you say his name. I don't know how to say his name exactly, but he is right outside Windhelm here. So if you talk to him, then he will speak of a place called Solstheim, which is where the dragon, pretty much the majority, if not all, the Dragonborn DLC takes place. It's a small island off, off the coast of Morrowind. You could see the Red Mountain in the background. So you would either hear about it from him, or the other way, which is kind of like how it happened to me, after I kind of walked away and the mission was activated. You'll have these guys approach you, and they have like a letter on them from Mirak to kill me. And Mirak is the first Dragonborn, and he has sent these emissaries towards me to kill me.
Need something?
And get rid of me, so he can be the one and only Dragonborn. So he's the first, I'm the last. And as you can imagine, being the first Dragonborn, he is the most powerful Dragonborn, at least at first. So,
if you've got the gold, I'm your captain.
If you want to go there, all you have to do is pay him the gold.
Get yourself second pen.
Or you could fast travel there. First time, you're probably going to pay the gold. And that right there is a black book by Hermaeus Mora. So this DLC is a mixture of like a long expanded Daedra quest, as well as, battle for supremacy against Mirak.
Talk to Captain
So this is Solstheim. I'm saving here. So this is Solstheim. It looks very different. Go ahead and show the map here. It looks very different to Skyrim. It's obviously not as big as Skyrim, but they made it feel big enough. So in Solstheim, you're going to see a lot more dark elves. You're going to see a lot more bone armor.
Damn ash.
They're going to talk about, the ash from the Red Mountain a lot, because, there was an explosion there a long time ago. The homes look different. You'll come into contact with enemies like the ash spawn, which I'll go ahead and show them, as soon as I get around to wherever they are. But you'll come into contact with things like the ash spawn. You'll have cool missions, like when I had to go down into the mine and figure out what killed, this old miner's, grandpa, or great-grandpa, I believe. What killed his great-grandpa, and then you come to find out that it has to do with corruption, and it has to do with just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there is quite a bit of crafting in this available too, because there is something called I believe it's called the Solstheim? I believe that's what it was called. They look like this. I'll go straight to one of the main sources of it. It's like this blue rocky material, and if you've been, really deep into crafting like a blacksmith, you can make some really, really good armor out of it. Unfortunately, I, didn't have the patience for blacksmithing, and I didn't really do it as often as I probably should have. It probably would have made me a lot better. But it looks like this. And in order to mine that, you're gonna need an ancient Nordic pickaxe. So when you end up doing a favor for one of the blacksmiths there, don't drop his pickaxe. Keep the pickaxe. You're gonna need it to mine that. There are 3 main areas of interest. That 3 main areas being like, this is where they give you like quests, and this is where most of you know, the people are at. So you got Raven Rock, Tel Mithrin, and you got Skull Village. So Raven Rock has most of the common people. You'll find people that are old mages. You'll find people that hail from Skyrim. You'll find people that are leftovers from Morrowind. You know, that's more or less what Raven looks a lot like some of the trees that you would have seen in Morrowind. Had you or seen Morrowind gameplay, it is very reminiscent of Morrowind. And it houses one of the old members of one of the 3 main houses from Morrowind. So it's like this big fat ass tree, and yet he has like this cool like levitational elevator. I'm gonna show you guys real quick because I like it. I thought it was cool. It's like him, it's his steward, and like an alchemist. So you're gonna click to float up. Whee! Fun, right? So this
Hold
is
still.
Neloth.
Let me get a good look at you. Incipient madness, loss of self-awareness, black spots in the whites of the eyes. Any of
You're
the
going to be doing a lot of quests for
indications
Nova.
of Hermaeus Mora's permanent influence. No, you look fine. Well, at least no different than when I first saw you.
So let me talk a little bit about. Wait, don't you want to know what happened with? Alright.
Who? Oh, him. Well, I assume.
So basically, Hermaeus Mora is the. Some people refer to him as Herma Mora, which is known as the Demon of Knowledge. So Hermaeus Mora is this tentacle, you know, danger creature. He's not as visceral. He's not as visceral as some of the other ones, or as cruel, you know, on surface as some of the other Daedric princes, but he is equally as dangerous because he tempts mortals and others with knowledge, and obviously for knowledge he wants, you know, control over your soul in your services. So it's not that his knowledge is fake and not real; it is real. It's just he has so much. He has so much knowledge. I didn't even know I had another quest left to do. But he has so much knowledge of the whole world. He seeks to gain more knowledge, and he seeks, you know, people to work for him, you know, as under him and stuff like that. So he has his own realm called Apocrypha, which is just like green, you know, bizarre looking realm. I'll show it to you. And that has its own creatures in it, like a creature called the Seeker. You know, it's like this weird Cthulhu. Everything about Hermaeus Mora is like kind of like gives me like a Cthulhu vibe, to be honest with you. You'll notice that Hermaeus Mora's will was being enacted a lot, because when these stones used to be active, every single point in the day people would gravitate towards and start building it, because they were building it, you know, because Hermaeus Mora's influence was so strong in the people's psyche to where they kind of were familiar with his name, but they couldn't really put their finger on it. They're like, I feel like I should know who this is, but I don't. So that's his influence. Miraak simply was the first Dragonborn that wanted a lot of power, decided to, you know, side with Hermaeus Mora, and wanted to break free from him and gain ultimate power.
And what might you need?
And then you have like small little stories like this guy here, where he is still keeping the leftovers of what used to be. This creature here used to be one of the creatures you would see in Morrowind that you would use as travel. Now that's no longer a thing, of course. Because there's only a few of them left due to that shit. That used to be Red Mountain. Now it just covers the land in ash because it was destroyed all those years ago. So, for Hermaeus Mora... Oh, Ice Wizard. Hi, Ice Wizard. So for Hermaeus Mora, the way he gets people to side with him in a physical way, I would say, is to get them to read his black books. When they read the black books, they get sucked into Apocrypha. Okay, she's getting kind of annoying. They get sucked into Apocrypha, so... Oh yeah, so that's the dragon I fought in the Dawnguard, and I'm actually able to summon him whenever I want, since I have oh shit, I didn't even know he summons other creatures with him too. I'm able to summon him whenever I want since I beat him in combat. But he gets people to read those black books, and you'll notice this is evident because once in a while you'll see, you know, a madman run around and he'll be like, oh, I have secrets, so many secrets in my mind, because he read the black book, and it's so much for him to, it's too much for him to contain to where he goes insane and he tries to attack you. It's like a random beggar. It'll happen, you know, once in a while to kind of get you to you know, read the books and head to Apocrypha and see it for yourself. I'm trying to see where I can, you know, fight some ash spawn so you guys can see them. It looks like I've kind of cleared up the place good. Anywho, I think what I'll do now is I'll show you guys Apocrypha. So I actually have one of the books on me. So all you gotta do is open it, and then this happens. Oh, also another sidebar. So there are these people called the Skull. They're called the Skull. They are, yeah, this is Apocrypha. Really creepy place. Never want to go here ever. He's like the creepy librarian that just is like, shh, no talking, like, you know, creepy shit like that. But anyways, so I'll kind of just, you know, go through it and stuff like that. And usually tentacles or a monster comes out of that. If I run in this black area too long, it'll sap my health. Then you have like these little lantern things here and there. And then you have these here, which some of them, you know, grant you, you know, some magic, some of them grant you stamina, some of them grant you I think it was magic, stamina, and something else. And then you have like these little skiers here which open doors. There's a bunch of little things in these places. Hold on, because I'm dying. But yeah, so you'll end up going to a lot of these places. They're very like dark, you know, demonic looking places you would never want to visit in your life. When you get to the end of them, some of them, you know, have you go from book to book, and they'll teleport, and they'll say like, oh, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. When you get to the last book before, you know, you have to go back to Solstheim, it'll present you an option with 3 different powers. So you could accept it. You could always come back and change them out if you don't want that power. But you could only get 1 of the 3 from each book, and I believe there's 5 books. And when you're done, you would just click the center of the book, and it would take you out. So the people of the Skull are people that have battled against Hermaeus Mora, and Hermaeus Mora is battling them because they do not wish to reveal their knowledge or their secrets to him. And of course that pisses him off because he has the knowledge and secrets to everybody. And then you have these creatures too, which are docile until you start attacking them. But for this purposes, let's attack them. They're really niches. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so they possess knowledge Hermes Mora doesn't possess. So at some point in time, you know, they have to give their knowledge to Hermes Mora, because Hermes Mora has been talking to me. It's like, look, I'll let you, you know, I'll give you the power you need to make it a fair fight against Merak. You know, I'll teach you something called the dragon aspect, which looks a little something like this. Hold on. I guess out the way. But the dragon aspect, which allows me, you know, to have better improved armor for a time, and allows me to ride dragons. He teaches me something called Ben Will. It's the one that allows you to ride dragons, sorry. When you shout at dragons, it allows you to ride on top of them. That was a interesting selling point to this. Oh yeah, and then you have ashhoppers, these nasty little roach shits, or grasshoppers, I should say. So yes, he basically wanted their knowledge. He wanted all that, so then they had to give it up so I can get the best, you know, the ultimate power to fight, you know, Hermes Mora. And then yeah, then I have to go to Apocrypha. I have to, you know, go through all the different books, and you know, as I'm going through the books, I'm getting stronger and seeing more freakish things in the game. You also, in this DLC, get to see, what else do you get to see that I could mention? You get to fight Karstag if you want. Karstag is this giant frost troll. I would not fight him unless you're like past 50, and I'm not even 50, because I tried to fight him and I barely landed a dent in him. So if you want to fight Karstag, it's a unlisted quest. It won't even show up in the quest book or anything, but you could fight him if you wish, if that's something you really want to do, by all means. And there's this cool little quest at one point when where is it? There was a certain area along the coast here. Okay, so Thirst Mead. So Thirst Mead Hall. If you want to do these two quests, this is kind of important. So go to Thirst Mead Hall first before you go to the camp that's a little offshore from it, because there are these like little goblin guys, and if you talk to the chieftain, you could do a quest for him. I wish I would have known that, because I went to the guys. Oh, okay, there they are, the Reeklings. They're really small, but they're mean little bitches. Look at them. Look at them. Mean little shit. But I'm too strong for them. So the Reeklings, so they took over this mead hall, and you know, like I said, if you go there and talk to the chieftain, you could do a quest for him. If you just go down to the retreat where these people, they had these like human Nords there that they used to own the mead hall before, you know, the Reeklings took it from them. I know what you're thinking, like, how? They're so small, but there's like at least 20 of them in there when we came up there. So that's a fun little thing that you see in the game. Yeah, for the most part, that's Dragonborn. I feel like it adds quite a bit to the story. You know, definitely more than Dawnguard. I felt like Dawnguard, although it is a part of the story, was not as impactful as Dragonborn, because if Mirak was able to come back from Apocrypha and killed me, we would be in a lot of shit. Because he was that powerful, that strong. When you do fight Mirak, though, he is a long fight. You have to deplete his health at least 3 or 4 times, because he keeps sucking up your dragon souls that you've earned over time. Also, when you get to the end of it, one last thing before I forget, when you get to the end and you open the last book before you come back to Solstheim, it allows you to take any and all perks from all your skill trees and give you your perks back, your perk points. So you can literally be level 50, empty out, all your perk points and reapply them how you want. It's a nice little perk at the end of the storyline that's worth mentioning, I would say. So that's more or less what's it called? Damn it. more or less the last DLC for Skyrim. I just wanted to talk about the DLCs and Skyrim itself, because it was a blast to play. It was a long game, but definitely a blast to play, and I would say definitely, if not Dawnguard, at least play the Dragonborn DLC. It's worth it. Alright. Thank you guys for watching, and hold on, let me end it by going here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. This will be the last you see of Skyrim, because I just wanted to talk about them. Hopefully you guys go and play it yourself. That's why I always encourage for the RPGs. That's why I kind of just talk about them. I don't really show playthrough. Plus, I kind of like playing at my own pace and playing as long as I want. It's a selfish thing, selfish pleasure, whatever. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.